The part we were working on was the very beginning, I think, when you guys came in. And I'm sort of creating this, I'm calling this guy the Prometheus character. It's life and death, so he represents both. And he's coming in and he's on a planet, and he's also a spirit, but he's affecting life and transitioning people. It feels like he's taking them to a good place. Them being on the floor is like that, the precipice of earth and heaven or whatever, or that next space. So they're just coming up out of that.
And he was saying to me, he never usually starts that intensely right off, maybe somewhere in the middle, once people are sort of relaxed a little bit. But I think that speaks to what's happening around him. Alvin Ailey said it best when he said some of the greatest works of art are those that are the most personal.
Mostly had to do with my mom just passed. It was like one day before my birthday. And being in that space, which was really interesting, because once I signed the contract, then someone said, then I got the call like 3-4 days. So what's the name of the piece? I'm like, what? What are you talking about? I just signed. And then it just popped in my head, Exodus. Eventually realized, as here in the moment of creating it, oh, this is about my mom. This is about the spirit moving on. It's about our transition physically, on this planet. Like, how do we transition from this place that we're in right now? And all this stuff was going on with the police and the community, and like you hear these like resonating gunshots that really bring us back to like right now. Like bang, you're like, oh, what was that,
One of the things he talked about is what was going on in this country today, with people taking to the streets, shining a light on some of the issues of the relationship between the police and African American citizens.
Ferguson and Freddie Gray, I felt also too, this was an exodus from that way of thinking of what are we prepared to do now? We didn't march until our feet are bloody. We didn't yell until we can't speak anymore. What are you prepared to do? You have to change.
Hip hop being something that was a celebration of life, but also in some ways a way of protesting, a way of sort of reclaiming our drums. It comes from the street. It comes from those kinds of experiences and frustrations. And so it is very fitting that he is looking at the issues of the day and finding a way to express them through this work.
It's the discussion. It's discourse. That's the beginning of change. So this piece is kind of like that for me. It's like this, it's encompassing of what's happening politically, economically, what's happening with the transition, with us as spirits on this planet. Why are we here?
So it's quite powerful, but what I know of his work is always by the end, there is something uplifting, and there is some sense that we can get through it.
Because ultimately it's about appreciating love for what it really is. And so it really comes back to sort of like just remembering why we're here.
I think it's going to be very timely and cathartic for the audience.